So this is the final look that I am actually working toward in this crazy, chaotic video that you're gonna watch. The topic's like a ping pong ball. It goes all over the place in the ping pong ball machine. And somehow I end up at this look. So keep watching if you wanna hear a bunch of random topics strung together into one video. Maybe you are hanging out with me while you're doing laundry, you're driving, you're getting ready. This is that kind of video. Y'all, I have so many topics to talk with you all about today. I'm not even sure where to start or like how to jump in. It's just this mishmash of things rolling around in this brain of mine. I did write them down. And if you think I'm lying, I literally like wrote down the topics. They include upcoming sales and the madness of sale time that I'm totally here for. I want to talk about a movie and a show that we've been into here. I want to share some of my skincare routine. This is at the request of one of our friendly viewers here, and some devices that I'm enjoying, and ask your opinion about one thing in that routine that I'm having some questions about. And then I want to talk about just like the disenchantment that can happen with social media. In particular, for me, it's Instagram. And then lately, I think for some other people, it's what's happening in like YouTube, makeup and fragcom and all of that we'll get into. And as I have started to do, I will link all the products I talk about below if I can find them. Just know that most of those links, not all, will be commissionable. So it's your decision whether you would like to shop through there or not. I did want to share that I am ridiculously impressed with the way that my hair is feeling these days and the way that it is blowing out. And I think that that is that feeling of lightness and I don't know what else you would call it, free flowingness, bounciness, whatever the hairstylist might call it, is likely attributable to a combination of the tools that I'm using and then the products. I'll get into the products another day because I really want to focus on skin today, but I did want to share some latest loves in terms of hair products. And my hair is all over these, so excuse me. But have I talked with y'all about the Ergo? Hold on, make sure. There you go. The Ergo products. I started off with this brush. This is called the ER53, and my hairstylist used this on me in the salon one day, and I love that it's a big barrel without being enormous and that it's long. So if you're a person with longer hair, you want to be able to get like a good swath of hair onto the brush while you're blowing it out. So this has been fantastic. This is the exact same brush that they had in pink. Your girl had to go in and get this and then the paddle brush. I use this when I get out and my hair is washed just to kind of get all of and I start from the bottom, friends, of course. Always start from the bottom of your hair and then go up and get all your tangles out before you go in. Anyway, this has been really helpful in addition to like a root lifter and some other heat protective products that I've been using. But what I wanted to share, and I had a sad moment today. I had a sad moment. Have you all watched the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks? I'm a big fan of Tom Hanks. I think he is one of the most amazing actors of our time. His library of films is just amazing, like his body of work. But in that movie Castaway, which is a really hard movie to watch, at one point he befriends a volleyball and he names the volleyball Wilson. So if you're not familiar with the movie, his plane goes down. He's like a FedEx plane pilot, is that right? And the plane goes down. I don't remember all the details. And he ends up as a castaway on a deserted island by himself. And so the movie is about the mental fortitude, perseverance, persistence that he needed to make it on that island. And one of the things he found was a volleyball that he decorated with eyes and a mouth, and he started to call Wilson. He was there in solitude, and Wilson was his only friend on the island, the volleyball. And then at the end of the movie, he decides to sort of cast out into the water. And I forget if he was like going to a rescue ship or what the heck happened, or he just decided to like venture out and see where he could go. I don't know, but he takes the volleyball with him. And I remember that somehow the volleyball got away from him. I don't remember if it deflated or if it like floated away or something. But there's this whole tragic scene in the movie where he loses it, like emotionally, because the volleyball, his friend, his only friend, is no longer, and he's crying out for Wilson, 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 and Wilson is gone. And so I had a moment like that today with one of my tools. So I have been using this porcelain ceramic Babyliss, what is it? Babyliss Pro hair dryer. Y'all, you can see all the products that have caked up on this during the years. I've had this blow dryer, my God, it's been well over 10 years. And I probably had this 13 years or so. It has been one of the most amazing blow dryers I have ever used. There's a blow dryer that I use to get all the moisture out, and there's a blow dryer that I use when I want shine. I'll talk about that one in a minute. This is what I use when I want to get all the moisture out immediately, like I want my hair to fry. This is the one. And you know how you have an old pet and you start to see that its final days are coming because it's not walking the same anymore, it's not eating the same. This has started to kind of conk out on me. I used it a couple of weeks ago and it went for a while and then stopped. And it started to happen more and more. And today it only lasted a good 20 seconds or so and then it died on me. And I was like, it's time. It's time for me to put the hair dryer down the same way that we put our pets down. And I had a Wilson moment. This has been my Wilson, one of my Wilsons. And the thing has seen me through so many, I'm going to cry. It's seen me through so many pivotal moments in my life. So many transformations. I'm going to tear up several houses. And so it's like a symbol of like leaving all of that behind and entering whatever the new phase of my life is. So rest in peace, Babyliss blow dryer. But you better believe I'm going straight to Amazon and adding this back in, assuming that it's still made, the Babyliss Pro. This has been such a workhorse for me. So anyway, I had a moment with that today. And so it was an opportunity to go back to my Dysons. I have 2 Dyson blow dryers. These are really pricey. Look, if you're on a budget and you want a good blow dryer, get yourself that Babyliss. That is it. If you want to splurge on something, I would say this Dyson hair dryer comes in different colors, but I've had this for probably maybe 3 years now. I got it in a Sephora sale in the past couple of years. It's super pricey. I think it's in like the $300 to $400 range. So definitely get it during that 20% off sale. And I adore this. I adore this. I stopped using this for a while because I ended up pulling out the other one because I wanted to get my hair super dry. But the truth of the matter is this one does a little bit better in terms of just general health and shine for your hair. It's a little bit quieter and all of that. And then I also have the air wrap that you can use to create curls, which I haven't used in a bit. I do want to pull that one back out and use it. But that Babyliss blow dryer, y'all, it was a moment today. I had a moment. I had a Wilson, rest in peace, moment of silence, moment for my hair dryer. Let's run through the skincare routine. This is upon request. I've done another video, and actually the choices have not changed that much. I'm still really loyal to certain products. I will rotate other products in and out to try them out and see, but there are some that I just keep coming back to, and I want to tell you mostly about those. In the morning, when I wake up, the first thing that I do is shower and I wash my face. And I usually wash my face with the CeraVe, I think it's the normal to oily is what it's called, cleanser, and that has, I think it's 3 ceramides or something. I am not the most versed in skincare and what different products do to your face. In fact, I get really overwhelmed. So I stick to the products that I know and that I like the way that they make my skin feel and look, and that's all I can really tell you about. So I do that, and I know you're only supposed to exfoliate once or twice a week, but I do a gentle exfoliation almost every day of the week. And so right now I am using the Tatcha, the rice polish in deep. Why is it called deep? I don't remember. I think it might be a little bit grittier than the normal. Is that right? But I like the packaging. I mentioned in a previous video that I'm really enjoying pretty packaging these days to the extent that I can afford them and that it makes sense for my routine. I probably will go in this direction more and more, but my very, very holy grail that I love even more than this is the Amore Pacific Treatment Enzyme Peel Cleansing Powder. This is a very soft, finely milled powder that has enzymes in it that you use to exfoliate after you wash, and it is just super gentle. In fact, you'll question whether it's doing anything for your face. But I'm gonna tell you, this never fails me. Neither does this, but this is a little bit grittier, just a little bit, and can be a tiny bit harsher. I wouldn't call this harsh, but it's a tiny bit harsher. This is the most gentle exfoliating, like almost like a natural enzymatic. I don't know what I mean by natural there, but it feels natural or something on my skin that I really enjoy. So that is my shower routine for my face. And when I come out, I always do 3 things. One is I put on some type of essence. And so y'all, I am making my way. I'm so proud. I'm making my way through this Kiehls Ferulic Brew Rejuvenating Facial Essence that I'm really enjoying. I've teared up in other videos about how this reminds me of my grandfather because of the medicinal smell in here and how it reminds me of that aftershave that he used to put on, and it brings back great memories. But anyway, My understanding of Essence is that it is supposed to prep your skin for additional products to be able to sink into the skin. It's almost like, this is a bad analogy, so forgive me here, but it's almost like if you put oil in a pan, then the pan is ready for the meat that you will sear on it. Maybe something equivalent, like this is supposed to sink into your skin and help your skin prep for other products. I don't know if there's science behind that, but I usually use this first. And then I go in with some kind of serum. I did finish the Glow Recipe Niacinamide Dew Drops, which I like, but I'm gonna tell you, my holy grail that I can't live without and I have backups of, and this was in the recent Ulta, now that they're calling it the semi-annual sale, we'll talk about that momentarily, friends. I really love the Clarins Double Serum Hydric and Lipidic System. That's a name. It's an oil and water-based serum. The oil, I think, is on the outside and the water is on the inside barrel. I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And you can change the, I don't even know what that does. Change the strengths. I just leave it on the big drop. I haven't tried the other one to see what it does. But what I like about this, I have it on now. I just finished my routine because I'm getting ready to do makeup. I put on the Essence and I put this on, and then I put a moisturizer on that I'm going to talk about. But I enjoy the way that this creates this dewy, illuminated effect on my skin and makes my skin feel and look healthy, like it's ready to receive makeup. And then I go in with a moisturizer, and that is my morning routine. And my usual holy grail moisturizer is this Paula's Choice Skin Restoring Moisturizer. It has SPF 50 in it, which is part of what is the appeal here. It has antioxidants and who knows what else. And I like that this is a lightweight moisturizer. It has a nice soft slip, and it's very, well, light to medium, I would say, in terms of the texture of the cream. Sinks into your skin, and it does not leave a greasy feeling at all, but you feel moisturized. So for those of you that want like the blankest slate for your makeup application, this is a good option. Lately here, I have also been using, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I would have told people you're crazy for trying this, the Henriksen Strength Trainer Peptide Boost Moisturizer as my moisturizer. Probably as we go into spring and I spend more time outdoors, I will get back into this SPF, but I've spent most of my time indoors, and I like the dewiness of this. It is very like an emollient kind of cream. I don't do a whole lot. I do like maybe like a nickel size. With this one, I go in with a quarter size. This one, I do like a nickel and put it on my face and on my neck to moisturize. And I like, lately I've been going for a more dewy skin look. I'll talk about that in a minute as well when we do makeup, but I appreciate the dewiness. And then at night, I do almost the same routine. I have this 3-step cleansing and 3-step moisturizing and prep for sleep. So I always go in first, especially on days that I have makeup on. I get really in there with my Sephora eye makeup remover. You see that it has like a clear portion and a blue portion. Mix those up and use a microfiber cloth, a really thick microfiber cloth, to wipe all the eye makeup off that I can get off with this. So this is important because I do use a lot of mascara, and that can be really hard to get off. And sometimes I put on a lot of eye makeup. And then I go in with some kind of cleansing balm. At the moment, I'm using the Tatcha Indigo Cleansing Balm. This is kind of pricey for what it is. It's not a whole ton of product in there, and I think this little thing is probably $50 to $60. Again, get these on sale, those 20% off sales, either from the Tatcha website or from Sephora itself. If you don't want to splurge for that, you don't have to. You can use something simple like the Clean It Zero from Banila company, and this is on Ulta, it's on Amazon. There's other cleansing balms at this price point. This is a huge tub of many ounces that I can't see right now. I don't know, y'all. It's a big tub. It comes in an even bigger tub, and you can get this for under $20, and it lasts you for a long time. But I use that cleansing balm. It's oil-based to break all of the makeup down. I do it with my fingers. Just spend a few minutes just scrubbing all around the edges and everything. I use that microfiber cloth to wipe all of that off real good. And then the last step for me for cleansing is to go in with this Micellar cleansing water. This is an all-in-one waterproof one. Waterproof, meaning it takes off the waterproof stuff like any remaining mascara or anything like that that you have on. And then, I just wipe my face down completely, make sure it's nice and dry. And then I go in again with 3 things. Right now, I am loving and have been loving for months this LaRoche-Posay Redermic R anti-aging treatment. This is basically like a retinol type of product. Is it retinol itself? Yes, it says retinol right on there, but it's gentle, and I only use like a pea-sized amount and spread that all over my face. I usually let that dry first I don't know that you have to or don't. I'm not really sure. And then I go in with some kind of treatment, like serum that is also a treatment. And the two that I love the most, one is Good Genes from Sunday Riley. This is an all-in-one lactic acid treatment. It does some exfoliating. It brightens dark spots. I don't know what else. It's supposed to help with wrinkles, whatever. I feel like it helps to very lightly take off a layer of dead skin overnight and leaves you looking like a baby's butt, y'all. A baby's butt cheeks by the time you wake up. The other one that has a similar effect for me is the Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow. This one is a little bit harsher on skin than this one in terms of like the active ingredients. This one sometimes can sting your skin if you're not used to it. So be careful if you use these. Don't put them near your eyes. I would put them on the rest of your skin. Don't put them on your lips either, just your skin. No mucous membranes, friends. And then I will usually go in with a fairly emollient and thick moisturizer because I like to go to sleep looking like a glazed donut, like I'm always telling y'all. And right now I'm using the Tatcha Indigo Overnight Repair. I have gone through a tub of the CeraVe Overnight Cream as well. Really, any thick cream will do. Any thick cream will do. I can't vouch that these more expensive products do anything more significant for your face. I like the feel of this, and that's why I use it, and I like the look of this on my counter. It's a nice, very creamy, dewy type of cream that I enjoy. It feels good and cooling on my face, and it's nicely sunken in by morning hours. So that is pretty much my skincare routine. The other thing that I do for my face is I'm using a lash revitalizer. I just made that word up. Volumizing growth serum. This one is the Squirrel Lash, which is super popular and viral right now. I just wanted to test that out. I have not used one of these in months, so I'm restarting the routine because I have been pretty brutal to my little eyelashes here, y'all, and they're looking scant. Is that the right word? Scant. They're barely there. So I'm going through this tube and I do this morning and night. And friends, I think that's it for skincare. I take my skincare pretty seriously now. Listen, most dermatologists will tell you all you need to do is 3 things. Make sure you wash your face, make sure that you moisturize, and make sure that you use sunblock every single day. So if you do nothing else, do those 3 things. You don't have to have hundreds of dollars worth of expensive products. I enjoy these products. I enjoy the routine of taking care of my face. I do see a difference. I do see a difference using this Good Genes. I do see a difference using this Honeymoon Glow. I do see, a difference using the Clarins serum. And I do see a difference here with the exfoliators. Okay, I see a difference in my face. And I like the way that my makeup looks under certain products. So that helps too, regardless of whether there's scientific research showing that these do anything, they have any benefit for your skin. So that is my skincare routine. Let's change topics and let's gossip and chat. Let's do some coffee talk about some other things while I get ready. So I did break my makeup. I wouldn't even call it a no buy. I just said I wasn't going to buy something that wasn't new or different. And so I told you all about my latest Il Makiage obsession. That is the foundation I'm going to use today. But I also wanted to share with y'all the Forever Glow Star Filter from Dior. It looked like it was new on the website. I put this in cart when I purchased my new Miss Dior Parfum 2024, which I love. It's so good. If you want to know my thoughts on that, it's on the other channel. But this star filter thing, it's almost like a combination between the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter thing and their Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. And so it has a lot of luminosity on it. Look at that. Now this is a bit of a lighter color than I should probably be using right now. This is the color 3, but it is absolutely just the most lightest, almost like a skin tint. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it, but I wanted to share that with y'all. I like it. I like it. I like it for days like no makeup days. No makeup days, I meant. But I'm still super duper loving this Il Makiage. I'm committed to get it in a bit of a lighter color, but we're going to make this color work today. This is the color 155 Woke Up Like This. Actually, excuse me. The foundation is called Woke Up Like This. The color is the number 155. So we're going to use that today. And how are we feeling about the Ulta and Sephora sales? Can we talk about it? The Ulta sale has changed now from being the 21 Days of Beauty, which I never liked. I never, ever liked. Because, well, if you're not familiar with it, they would, for 21 days, share with you a handful of products that were discounted at 50% for that day. And so you're over here like a fiend, checking the website every day to see what little handful of piddly products they had on sale. And I'm sorry, I just think that is a really pitiful sale model and has people doing like hamster wheel type of thing to go check out your sale products. It's insulting. I never liked the 21 days of sale. I rarely shopped it, only if there was something I absolutely wanted. Like, let's say there was a specific, very expensive fragrance or foundation that was in the sale, and I would get that. That's a lie. Years ago, I used to shop the sale. But in recent years, I'm just like, stop punking me, Ulta. And I love Ulta. I love Ulta's reward points. I just don't like their sale situation. So this year, they called it the semi-annual sale. They're still running the same games, but they're not showing you the full 21 days of products. Like, you can't see the full calendar of products that are released on each day. And there's a suspicion that that's because they don't want their competitors to know. Because if you remember, if you're a makeup or whatever products shopper out of Ulta, you'll know that when they run their 21 days, Sephora would do what they call echo sales and also discount the same products on their site and then create competition. So there's suspicion that Ulta is trying to downplay the competition. I didn't think of that myself. I heard that on, I think her name is Jen Phelps, her makeup channel. She mentioned that. And so that's where that information came from. I don't have insider information, friends. Let's get this foundation on. And so this year they're calling it the semi-annual sale. And they started to do this thing where like they only release 1 week of products at a time. So like the products that'll be discounted Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way through Saturday. And then they'll release the next set of products either on that Saturday night or the next Sunday night. And I'm sorry, I don't know how y'all feel, but those sale prices and the actual products that they put on sale are not enough for me to be doing this like chasing around like a chicken. I'm not doing it. It's just not that serious for me. I'd rather just not shop the sale at all. That's how I feel about it. So I'm not loving that whole sales approach. And I'm a diamond member with Ulta because I spend a lot of money at Ulta every year. So for diamond members, they'll show you the entire week early. So you can shop early and feel special. You can spend your money even earlier than all the other suckers out there. This is why I'll probably never, ever get an Ulta sponsorship. And that is all right. So anyway, I don't love the sale idea there. Now let's talk about the Sephora sale because that's coming up. That's coming up. I think the dates have been released for 2024. And I want to say it starts like that first full weekend. Look at the difference in colors here. This is crazy. So I am going to take my foundation all the way down and probably bronze up down here. This is a little bit more like orangey. Look at my ears, how pale they are. Don't judge. Don't judge. Shh, shh. Cállate. Okay. Sephora. Their sale starts early April. It's the first weekend in April. And I already have my cart full. They're a full 20% off site-wide. I'm trying to remember if there's anything that's excluded. Do you remember? I don't remember if they like say there's certain things you can't buy on sale. I think pretty much everything is on sale. And so I much rather do that, even if it's not the biggest discount. Because what happens is as Sephora has their sale, then all the brands want to do matching sales for 30% off. But then if you want a Huda product, and if you want a MAC product, and you want a Pat McGrath product, and you want a Benefit product, you got to go to all 4 of those websites and shop separately and maybe get stuck with shipping charges. Y'all, I'm all about the simplicity, even though it may cost me a few extra dollars. I'm okay. Like the difference between my cart at 20% and 30% is just not that significant for me to spend half of my day running around all these other websites trying to get an extra few dollars off of a lipstick. Okay, so if the lipstick's $50, which is a pricey lipstick, and it's 20% off, you get it for $40 at Sephora. If it's 30% off, you get it for $35 somewhere else. Did I do my math right? So for an extra $5, am I really going to spend the time to go to yet another site? And then you have to add that card up to the point where you get free shipping. And so you're spending even more money anyway. Don't play me like that. I would just rather shop right on the Sephora site. I do wish that their discount was a little bit steeper. Can we get to 25%? 30% is like, I'm so happy with a 30% discount, y'all. I like a 20% discount. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, especially on products that are never discounted. So yes, I'm going to shop the Sephora sale. I've got some fragrances in there that, in fact, if I find them earlier, I may shop elsewhere. I don't know. Have y'all tried Stravaganza? from Valentino. I posted a video about new designer fragrances, and a lot of people seem to really like that one, so I'd like to at least try it. So that's my thoughts on the sale. I do look forward to the Sephora sale, even though I moan and groan about the fact that it's only 20% off. I like a Sephora sale. And look, if you're all about the sale amount and that's more important to you than the convenience, I'm not judging. By all means, run around to 300,486 websites if you like. I just like the convenience of the all-in-one approach. That's it. That's really it. And I don't think I mentioned in the skincare portion 2 important things. You gotta have moisturized lips. I cannot stand a crusty lip. I just cannot, on myself or on others. If I'm talking to someone and their lips are all crusted over, I'm like, can I offer you a little lip balm? So I am still into the Laneige lip sleeping mask and then the Tatcha Kiehls lip mask. I kind of combine these. I put this one first, then this one, and then this one on top. So it's like a 3-part sandwich. And hey, if you don't want to splurge on these products, use some good old Vaseline, friends. A little petroleum jelly ain't never hurt nobody. I keep that by my bedside too. And in the middle of the night when I don't want to reach for these, I might put a little dab of that. I used to use that for years and it worked just fine. I wanted to get your thoughts though on a product. But before I do that, I forgot to share, I still use skincare wise that LED mask. It terrifies my husband. It's the funniest thing. I love to put it on in the morning and look over the balcony at him, like the way that the balcony is. I said balcony. Like, what are we, Romeo and Juliet? Look, well, yeah, I guess that's what it's called. The railing, the railing, the railing on like the catwalk in our house. I look over that into his office, which is actually our dining room that we converted into his office. Because like, who eats in a dining room? I don't. We have a nice kitchen table that we eat at every night. Every morning, every night, we love that table. So no, we don't use a formal dining room table. And you will not be sitting at a formal table if you come to my house. You're going to be putting your knees up under our informal table that my husband built that is beautiful, that we love. Do you use a formal dining room table? I just can't. I can't with all of like the formal dinnerware. It's just not me. So back to the story. I look over the railing at him with this thing on in the morning sometimes just to freak him out while he's sitting because I can have a straight line of vision to his desk. And he'll look up and be like, oh my God, babe. So I'm still using that, and I'm still using that electric device that sends pulses to your muscles to keep them calm. Lord have mercy, the things that we do for beauty, friends. Let me do a little bit of powder, but I wanted to ask your thoughts. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, because you know you follow trends sometimes. You can say all you want to. I don't follow trends. Okay. You're on social media right now, so I know you at least see the trends and consider them, even if you don't use them. Are you a castor oil user? Because it's having a moment. And so yours truly purchased the organic golden castor oil. And the idea is to use a drop of this with your moisturizer, especially at night. Some people use it during the day, and I have used it during the day, especially on no makeup days, because it is very, very viscous, like thick and oily. And it can kind of take over your whole face. It's sticky almost. And so I use this at night with a drop of this. I've started to use this. I ain't putting this in my belly button. Do you put it in your belly button? Do you even know what I'm talking about? It's like a whole thing on YouTube. There are videos about people putting this in their belly button. And I'm like, the belly button? I don't know. I don't know about all that. But do tell us if you are a castor oil belly button user. Don't be ashamed. I won't judge that much. I'm totally kidding. I do want to hear though. And then do you use it in your hair? I mean, you know, at some point my hair will begin to thin. The hairline is already being affected. So I'm like, oh no, look at this. This is so splotchy. Oh my God, that's horrible. That's so embarrassing. Okay. Let me know. What else do you use castor oil for? I know some people sometimes put it on their hairlines or like in here to help their eyebrows and whatever grow. I haven't used it for that. And by the way, you can also use this on your lips. It's just like the all-in-one moisturizer. So I'm just curious. Yes, I went down the castor oil rabbit hole, but not that deep. Not that deep. You didn't do the belly button stuff, you guys. Not that I'm judging people that do. Okay, so then let's talk about Dune. And let's talk about Naked and Afraid, the show. So Dune. All I want to say about that is I really want to see the new Dune movie. Dune 2. The reviews are outrageously good, and from everyone, like all walks of life seem to really enjoy, people from all walks of life seem to really enjoy the movie experience. The acting's supposed to be great. The cast, this is bronzer that I'm using, and this is the Pure. Does anybody use Pure anymore? This is called Bronzing Act, the matte bronzer in dark. The cast, the music, the set, the costumes, the everything, the storyline. So we're waiting until next weekend. I think, was it last weekend or the weekend before that? That was opening weekend. And we were like, no, we're not going opening weekend. You know, I can't stand to listen to people chew. So I can't be like in a movie theater with people opening jujubes and M&Ms and crunching on popcorn and slurping. It makes my skin crawl. So I've got to wait until the theater is somewhat reasonably empty to go. I know this is like my thing, my one absolute aggravation in life that makes no sense at all. My family makes fun of me for that. They're like, don't eat around her. She'll tell you off because you're chewing too loud. So I'm really interested in seeing Dune 2. We saw Dune 1 last night, not the really old school version. Like, was it in the 80s? And by the way, there's a rumor that Star Wars was like plagiarized off of the Dune script. Say what? That George Lucas stole ideas. I don't know whether that's true or not, but there's a lot of similarities. So we didn't watch the old school one. We watched the most recent one that has Zendaya in it. And the thing that captivated me about it is that the main actor, the young man who's supposed to be like the next prophet or whatever, the next Messiah, he looks just like my son. He looks just like my son. So I felt like I was watching my son. And there's a scene in there where he goes to a battle to the death, like a battle royale. He fights someone and one of them has to die for the fight to end. And I felt like I was watching my own son fight for his life. And I was there like, you know. So I guess that's a setup for part 2. So let me know if you plan to see Dune. And then I also wanted to share, we have been watching like marathon crazy watching Naked and Afraid. Y'all, to the point where I cannot wait to clean up from dinner so that we could go upstairs, put our pajamas on, and watch Naked and Afraid in bed. You know, the kids go off to like finish their homework, talk to their friends, they do video games, and then hubby and I are in the bed watching Naked and Afraid. And I'm like, who's next? What's happening? Where are they going? And they go all around the world. They go into desert environments. They go into rainforests. They go into cold mountainous regions. They go into swamplands. They send these people everywhere. And so the concept is that it's one man, one woman, a pair. They don't know each other. They've never met. And oftentimes they're married with children. They go in and they meet each other naked. Completely naked, no clothing, not one stitch. They shake hands and they go off into the wilderness together, whatever environment they are put in. It is wild. And they have to learn to survive. They don't have water. They don't have clothing. They have nothing. They have no amenities. The only tools that they can bring, they can each bring one item. So you'll often see people bring like a flint fire starter. One person brings that, and then the other person brings like a knife or machete so that they can cut things down and make shelter or whatever. But they literally have to fend for themselves. There's no food, there's no water, there's nothing. And they have to survive for 21 days. And it is like the realest thing. There's a crew that's out there, but the crew is not to intervene. They're only to film. They are not to intervene unless there is some kind of medical emergency, like emergency where someone is going to be in grave danger if a medic doesn't come in. And these people go through it. They go through it. It is the wildest thing to watch. So, and the nakedness of it becomes unimportant, like, because they blur things out. So it's not like you're looking at body parts and stuff, but sometimes people are in conditions where it's hot during the day. It's like 100 during the day. And then it drops to like 50 and 40 degrees at night. You know, and if they haven't learned to build a fire, even if they have a fire, sometimes they're freezing out there. Sometimes they're getting rained on all night. And I'm like, they have to stay out there for 21 days to make it. They don't get money. Like, we looked this up. I don't think these people are paid. They don't get like a monetary prize. It's just the pride of being able to say that you made it, you survived, you persevered for the 21 days. You can tap out at any time. Like, if it's too much for you, you can tap out and a producer comes and asks you, are you sure you want to tap out? Yes, I do. And they take you out. And then the other person has to decide if they want to stay there and try to make it on their own. So the episode that we watched last night, I forget where the guy was. I feel like, was he in like the mountains of Belize or something? Does Belize even have mountains? I know there's some lowlands by the ocean. I don't even remember. But he was up somewhere high, like on top of a little mountain or hill or whatever. High hill, low mountain, something. And he was being stalked at night because his partner tapped out. So he was out there by himself. He had built like this makeshift hut with twigs and branches and leaves and things. And there was like a panther that came every night, and you could hear it outside of the little hut and just breathing. And the guy was already like afraid of the dark and had this fear he was trying to get over. And like my heart was palpitating, waiting and watching to see what was going to happen. And one night he just flipped and like was like, I need help, I need help. He started screaming for the crew to come get him because he just had like a panic attack listening to this like panther or whatever outside of his thing. Y'all, I'm a tough cookie, but I ain't that tough. I cannot imagine dealing with this stuff. I mean, I give these people all the credit in the world for making it through that stuff. Wild. I need y'all to pray for me because I'm gonna try to use these false lashes today. I purchased them online at Ulta and I just didn't realize how huge they are. They're enormous. I mean, they're gonna stick up like this, so we shall see. Anyway, I did some lip liner with this powder, which I love to do because it softens the edges. If you have like raggedy edges like I do on your lips, it's a nice way to sort of extend the space on your lips and give them the illusion of being fuller with no fillers or injections, y'all. Just a little bit of this. I still have this ABH Norvina palette that I bought, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe. And it's enormous. It's an overwhelmingly huge palette. I'm not sure where I want to go if I want to do something really dramatic. I'm not feeling dramatic today. I will either stick in this lower section here or maybe up in this section, something like that. I don't know, y'all. I kind of want to get this done and get filming and be done. So let's try to keep it simple-ish today. I don't know. What do you think? Should I be dramatic? I don't even know how to talk about the next topic of interest, but it has been on my mind, steady, heavy, and deep. It's all about social media and how crazy it can get. And then I'm like, why do you want to give any airtime to that? Like, just keep pushing and doing what you're doing and stop worrying about everything else. And the truth is, I'm not worried. I don't worry, but I get annoyed with things. Holy cow, what did I just do there? I get annoyed with things. And it's like, I just want to verbalize it, vent, and like move on. You know, social media is a whole beast. It is a whole beast. And there's a lot to unpack with social media and why we engage in it, watch it, why I'm on this side of things, why I want to create content. There's just a lot to think about. I think I want to go in through the angle of talking about Instagram because when I started the second channel, I also started a second Instagram account. And my intention at that time was to separate out the fragrance content and the makeup content, or makeup and everything else, every other kind of like life content. And so then I got into like this spiral of trying to make content for both Instagram accounts, the fragrance one and the other one. And as I started to do that, I felt like I started to burn myself out trying to do too much. And it wasn't that I didn't enjoy the content. I really absolutely did enjoy the content. The problem was more keeping up with it and the time to do it. I'm looking down at this because I'm trying to decide, what do I really want to do here? Do I want to just keep it boring or do I want to do something fun and funky? But I feel like usual, it's getting late. It's daylight savings day where you leap forward. It's that day that I'm recording. And so we've already lost an hour today. And I think I better just keep it simple and maybe do the fun stuff another time. So back to Instagram. I started to feel overwhelmed by my commitment to myself to put out all this content and just kind of slow down. And then I decided to shut the second account down. I was like, do I really need 2 separate Instagram accounts? It's just not that serious. If people want to follow me on Instagram, they can just follow me on the fragrance channel, fragrance account. And then on that account, I also noticed so many things that just bothered me. There's so much in fragcom in general, fragrance community, if you're not on that side of things, you're just over here, that just bother me and annoy me. I don't talk about it a lot because it's like giving, airtime to negative stuff. So I kind of just deal with it in my own sort of private way, and I don't really talk about it a whole lot on my channels. I've mentioned a little bit here and there, but there's something like so crazy about the whole community on all sides of things. I don't want to get into all of that because there's so much analysis to do with like why people purchase fragrance or don't purchase fragrance, and whether they have big collections or small collections, and whether they choose to go all affordable or all expensive, whether they accept PR or not, and how do they handle that and deal with it, and are they transparent about it, and all these things. But I will say this, so there's a lot to unpack there that maybe is for another day, And I don't want to ever get into a space where I am like, oh my God, I just got my brush in my eye, where I'm putting down other creators, because I'm not about that life. Let everybody live their life and run their channels as they so choose. But there are patterns of things that I notice that I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe people feel that way about me too, and the things that I do on my channel. I don't really know. But the one thing that I do want to talk about here that was starting to really get to me and like contaminate the space more than anything else, I'm using Cinema Secrets, which is sold on Sephora, and I've poured into this cutesy little bottle, and I just swirl my brush around in it. So I spray this onto my microfiber cloth and then swirl my brush to clean it if I don't want to fully clean my brushes in between uses. It does a really good job of getting all the stuff off. So the thing that I've noticed that bugs me in ways that I can't even express is the competitiveness. So what do I mean by that? Let's talk about Instagram because it's easier to talk about there. People are trying to grow their following. And I notice like such a desperation for people to get their numbers up that they do crazy things. Like they buy views and followers and all this stuff. You don't have to believe me on any of this, by the way. I know for a fact that this happens because I've seen it. And by the way, I have been approached by very many. I mean, it's almost like not a day goes by that I don't get an email or two from some social media outfitter, some little organization, some little company, some little startup that wants to tell you how you can grow your following. And they want to tell you all about how your keywords are off and you're this and you're that, or you can grow your Instagram account if you just make these tweaks. Let us work with you to improve your views and your following. And I delete them all for lots of reasons. One, I just want to grow organically. If people want to follow me on Instagram, great. By the way, I've made my account private and I'll talk about that in a second. If people want to follow me on YouTube, great. If they don't, fine. I don't want to spend a single penny of my hard-earned dollars, not one penny, paying a coach, paying some guru that's going to tell you the strategies to grow your channel. I just don't care that much. There are people that do care. There are people that are making this their life career and they want to transition to this full time. And therefore, it is very important to them that they're making a certain amount of money off of their, what the hell did I just do to my eyes? Oh my God, I messed up the look. Oh, we gotta recover. Okay, sorry. They want to make this their thing, their gig. You know, they love to quit their daytime jobs and do this. I do this as a hobby. And so what that breeds is jealousy among creators. That breeds overanalyzing what other creators are doing. That breeds critiquing what other creators are doing and how they're doing it and how much of it they're doing or how little. That breeds contempt and, oh, these creators are pandering to this and that. They're, you know, only accepting PR and talking well about it because they want to stay on PR lists. And all of this just like, it is this whole rabbit hole of absolute foolishness, judgment, ugliness, nastiness, competitiveness that is just such a turnoff for me. It's such a turnoff. I'm like, friends, drink water and mind your damn business. Run your Instagram account, run your TikTok account, run your YouTube account however you want to. Focus on yourself and what you want to do and stop stressing about what everyone else is doing. And did this person comment on that person's channel? And why aren't they commenting on mine? And did you notice that so-and-so is doing this? She's just trying to grow. She just wants views. She just wants that. Did you notice that this person decluttered this or that? I don't really care. I don't care. Like it literally feels like gnats, mosquitoes, bugs in my ear. You know how you have insects flying around your ear and it's just like a nuisance where you're just like, stop. That's what I feel like sometimes on the creator side of social media. And by the way, viewers do it on their side too. I am also a viewer and I am in Facebook groups and all of that. And I see people just going to town, criticizing creators, just making assumptions and judgments about what they're doing, why they're doing it. And oh, so-and-so's a liar. So-and-so only wants to stay on PR list. You know, so-and-so never talks about anything other than the same 3 or 4 fragrances. So-and-so only reviews luxury makeup. And I'm like, people, please learn to scroll on by if there's content that you don't enjoy. Why are you coming over here and contaminating these other spaces that are supposed to be about fun with your negative judgment? And calling people you've never met, you don't know about, liars. That just drives me crazy. That just drives me crazy when people are out here. Captain Nobody over here has the nerve to call this other person who's putting themselves out there in video form, because it takes a lot of guts to do this, friends, over and over again. They're the ones putting in the time, recording, editing, posting. Captain Nobody over here is like, this person's a liar. Well, how do you look then watching them if you think they're such a liar? And how do you look posting about it? Why don't you just scroll on by if you don't like the content, if you don't buy it, if you don't believe it? It's such a headache to me, which is part of the reason that I made my Instagram account private. I was getting all kinds of messages, first of all, from all of these supposed gurus about how to grow my account. And you can only get those messages if your account is public and they can find you and then they can send you like a message. You don't have to open the message, you can just delete it. But they'd be sitting there waiting for me. And I'm like, oh, I know what this person wants. They want to tell me how I can grow to 100,000 followers on Instagram. And let me tell you, some of the people that y'all have seen grow so fast, they're not really growing. They're hiring these other consultants to buy views and followers for them. And it's just like, the whole thing's just so disingenuous. The whole thing is just so like inauthentic. It's even worse for me, in my opinion, on Instagram than it is on YouTube, to the point where I'm like extremely turned off by all of the posturing and the foolishness that people do to get their accounts growing. For me, Instagram was just supposed to be fun, like a way to post funny reels and enjoy myself and maybe talk about products. And instead, I'm noticing all of this phony fakeness, people not disclosing like they're supposed to, that they're getting products for free. I don't care about people getting products for free. I get products for free. Please send me products for free. You got products? Send them to me for free. My address is in the description box. That's not the problem. The problem is the shadiness around all of this. It's just not that serious. And so it's just been such a turnoff. And then I'm like, well, Veronica, then you're part of the problem, because you're sitting there reading these posts, entertaining this stupidness. So for example, on Facebook, I recently saw some very distasteful posts about other content creators. First of all, gosh, there's so much to unpack. Just like in any other realm of life, social media attracts people that maybe aren't the most mentally stable, okay? They lack confidence, they have other issues, whatever the case may be. And you see these things play out on camera, and you see how folks react to that stuff. And you see them praising people who you know for a fact have some issues they need to work out. And so it's like all just a big thing of smoke and mirrors. Anyway, I saw some distasteful posts, people being called liars, all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I'm now part of the problem because I'm actually looking at these posts. And so I have the option of either scrolling by, or thank you, Facebook, you can actually disable people. So there's one particular woman that has gotten to posting in several groups every day. Every day she's posting something, either her newfound expertise on fragrance, because she only got into fragrance like a year or so ago, and now she's an expert, right? Don't get me started on that. And trashing really beautiful fragrances. It's the craziest thing. But then she also is out there casting judgment. She's sitting on a high horse casting judgment on other creators. I'm just like, I don't have time for this. This is absolute petty middle school foolishness. Thank God that you can disable people. So I just disabled that. I don't see her comments. That's it. So all of this to say, I have felt that same kind of like disdain and disgust for Instagram sometimes. I made my account private because I was getting those crazy messages from everybody wanting me to, not everybody, excuse me. Don't get crazy, Veronica. People wanting me to collaborate on things that I have absolutely no interest in collaborating on. Nothing. Like I'm not interested in that at all. That's not even part of like, that's not my ministry, as people say. People asking me crazy questions, men, because my account was open. Men talking about, hey, beautiful. No, dude. I'm clearly married. You can see my wedding ring. Happily married. My wedding ring and my reels and stuff. I'm just like, why? Why do you have to contaminate a perfectly fun thing? This was supposed to be fun. You done messed it all up with your stupidity. Folks, you messed it all up. These influencer pariahs, they're feeding off of influencer frenzy to grow and working with people to magically grow their accounts. People that have been on YouTube for a few years that are all of a sudden at 80 and 90,000 subscribers. The accounts don't grow that quickly. I mean, some do. Some are sensations that just really grow quite well, in a short period of time. But for most, it takes a really long time to grow. So you should be skeptical if you're seeing numbers like that. I'm not casting aspersions. I'm just being honest that it takes a while for these things to happen. Instagram accounts that grow to 100,000 in a year. Do you know how hard it is to grow on Instagram right now? Anyway, there's just so much perverseness is the word that I want to say. So much perverseness in social media and on Instagram. And I'm not talking about the overconsumption. I'm cool with overconsumption. I have told you I'm all about the overconsumption over here on my channel. I like overconsumption. I'm good with that. I'm talking about the other mental stuff that's going on that is just overwhelmingly ridiculous and distasteful. And I always say when something stops being fun, I'm out. So I felt like Instagram stopped being fun. I stopped enjoying scrolling through Instagram. I stopped enjoying supporting people because I saw what some of their true intentions were. I noticed that some people only commented on my stuff if I commented on theirs, like those kinds of games. I don't have time for that. With everything that we have to worry about in this world, I certainly don't want to be thinking about whether somebody is viewing my content, which takes me time to think about and create, viewing my content with good intentions. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that in life in general. I don't want to think about that sort of thing in life. If I have to wonder what someone's intentions are toward me, I'm just not interested. So I I went private on my Instagram account, meaning you couldn't just follow me out of nowhere. And I don't know what I want to do with Instagram. How do you feel about Instagram? I mean, I guess the same is true with TikTok. I don't get on TikTok and YouTube, same kinds of things. There's just so much to unpack in this space. And it brings out some of the craziest insecurities in people. Some of the craziest insecurities that I've ever seen are like magnified and multiplied in this social media circus. And I'm like, I can't deal with that. I'm here for a good time. I'm here for a long time and a good time. I'm not here to trash folks. I'm not here to talk smack about people. I'm not here to compete with folks. I'm not here to be worried about what they're doing on their channel and whether I think it's ethical or not. I drink water and mind my business. My business, not everybody else's. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Would love to hear your thoughts. Let me finish up this look and come back and show y'all what I done did with the face and the hair. So yeah, all of that to say, I am trying to stay away from the drama. I'm trying to stay away from negative people. I'm trying to stay away from negative commentary, negative Nancy's, people that are always judging. They're always throwing rocks and they live in the most glass of houses, if you know what I mean. I can't deal with those people. So I need peace in my life, and I have to be better about ignoring those things when they show up in my social media feed, the same way that I ignore them in my life. I've gotten pretty good about ignoring those things in my day-to-day life and creating boundaries. But when you're doing what the kids call a death scroll and you're constantly, just scrolling through your social media, it's so easy to get caught up in seeing, even if you're not participating, seeing and absorbing the energy of other people's negative nonsense, absolute nonsense. So let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Drop me a note in the comments. And thanks so much for hanging out with me today. See you in the next video, friends.